like
Well,
in isolation.
There's many ways you can work out your form in isolation.
Daniel.
Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hello, everyone. It's Rosita.
It is Rosita. It's Rose's alter ego.
You guys, we're back with another episode, and today we have a little bit of decor.
We do.
Although you can't really see your ears.
I know because they hide in the...
I know the background. The background here is not like, it's a nice background, but it doesn't show, the black hair. It needs like a white background.
Rose has dyed her hair. She's cut it.
Guys, if you guys are watching, if you guys are just listening, I'm wearing a black wig at this moment. So, you see a little bit of that.
Rose felt a little wiggy.
I felt a little wiggy. I was like, I feel like we need to, dress up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's our last podcast of 2022.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's our last episode of 2022.
Oh, god
Just
damn.
think about it. It'd be the 26th to die. The next one be in the new year.
Well, then I should have dressed up more. I look like a little Dora the Explorer. Wait, is it Dora the Explorer?
Yeah, you do look like Dora the Explorer.
Anyway, I wore this last year during Halloween, remember?
Yeah, I do remember.
I dressed up as the 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. Do you guys remember? It's from Squid Game. I dressed up as a doll. So I bought this wig, and I feel like it would look better if I was wearing like a lot of heavy eye makeup.
Yeah.
Then it would look really like, like a Cleopatra sort of thing.
I think if I was a woman, okay, I think I would actually wear wigs on a regular, like just randomly.
I like that idea too.
Yeah.
There are women that do that, and
Yeah.
it looks good, but I never know how to make
The professionalism.
I never know how to make wigs look good. Like I don't know how to put on wigs properly.
Yeah.
Because right now, like you can see the bun at the back of my head.
It's very bunny.
And I'm sure there's like a way of doing it, but some people do it so that it looks so good.
Well, like I remember there was a drag queen on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Right.
And she had fucking dreads as her natural hair.
Oh, goddamn.
And she was able to somehow get that into a bun.
Like a wig.
And then put a wig on.
And it looked good.
And you couldn't see the bump.
What?
I was like,
don't know
this
how
is like
people
some
do
kind
it.
of, this is artistry, you know?
And it was like a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I have a lot of hair, so I'm like, I don't know how people do it.
Yeah.
But I've always I'm like, you know what? Like that's fun because then you can always change up your look.
You have different hair colors. You could do like a
Yes.
funky makeup with like a weird.
Totally. Oh my god, I should buy some wigs.
Yeah, one of my friends like years ago, she had like a purple bob wig.
Yeah,
and she used to wear that
that's
when I'm
cute.
serving, like just like randomly.
That's so cute. See,
yeah.
it's fun. Oh my god, maybe I should buy wigs, and then I'll just wear different wigs for every episode.
Yeah, or even for your channel too.
That's true. That
Like,
could be fun.
yeah.
Should I do that, guys? Should I
Business
buy a bunch of
expense.
wigs? Totally.
Yeah.
But like, first I need to learn how to put on a wig.
Yeah. without the because like it
I
does
know
look
you
like
can
funny.
see
It looks
like the bun.
yeah, it looks like it's like a huge thing at
And
the back.
I feel like it keeps like sliding.
Mm.
Anyway, guys,
Yeah.
welcome back to another episode.
Yay.
We're back. Apparently, this is our last episode of 2022.
It is.
So that's fun.
2022 has come and gone now almost.
What the fuck, guys?
It's crazy.
We need to have, you know what? Like, I think I've discussed this on this podcast, but they say that in order to make time slow down, we need to have more. What was it, Daniel? Let's test and see if you actually listen to what I say. And actually retain information.
You need to have more relaxing moments. You need to slow down.
No, that's definitely not it. So once again, guys, we have proven on this podcast that Daniel does not listen to what I'm saying.
No, I just have a bad memory with some things.
No, you definitely have good memory, but only things that concern you.
Okay, so what did you say? Well, in order for things to go down slower, go slower.
You have to have more different new experiences.
Oh, no, I do remember this.
Yes, but you clearly don't because you can recall things from when you were like 5, but you can't remember that. Or it could be all the blackout
you do a lot
nights.
Of this, so a lot of this.
No, it's because you're doing a lot of this, and then you don't do enough of this.
That's true. Accurate. I need to work on my listening skills, guys. That's for sure. Because you're right. If it doesn't pertain to me, I'm not always the best at retaining that knowledge. So,
anyway, so we need to have more life experiences in 2023. because that way it slows down time.
Interesting.
Yes.
More life experiences. So what are you going to do in
more
2023?
new experiences. I have no fucking idea.
Great start.
I need to do more, but I don't know what.
God damn.
I mean, what more can I do?
Well, I mean, one thing that I started this year, I only went once, but I want to continue into next year, rock climbing. Maybe you can come rock climbing with me.
Oh, God damn.
You want to rock climb?
Oh, God damn, maybe.
It's actually quite hard, guys. I did it.
Did you enjoy it?
I liked it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of cool. Like you have different like tracks.
It's really hard.
Oh my God. And like,
yeah.
I still have that's from rock
Oh
climbing.
my God, still.
Yeah, so I got blisters on my hands, guys, and I went like about a couple weeks ago, and honestly, my forearms.
It's the worst. I did it once in university. I've never had forearm like soreness like that. Yeah.
I have never either, and I go to the gym quite regularly.
Yeah,
and I was
because
like,
it's just not a muscle you work very often.
no, and because you're like constantly like gripped.
Yeah.
It's like overworked.
But it's like also, do I need forearms to be strong?
Yes.
No, as in like. Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Do I need to work out my forearms to look good?
But like the thing is, that even if like no, you don't. You like
right, but it's for overall like
I think for
arm strength.
guys like to have big forearms.
Do they? Is
Yeah.
that a thing? It's
Like-
more so biceps and triceps.
No, do you not find a guy with big forearms kind of sexy?
I've literally never I've never thought about forearms as like a, you know.
I just love big arms in general.
Yeah, like big arms in general, but like forearms I never thought of as like, and it's also not like a part that you work out, you know, like in isolation.
There's many ways you can work out your forearm in
I mean,
isolation.
Daniel, this is a PG podcast.
Oh, it's definitely not. One of the stories is definitely not PG. It's triple X.
Okay, should we go to that triple X story?
Should we start with the triple X one?
Okay, what's the triple X story?
Okay, guys. So
yes, this is. I mean, the list of stories that you sent me this morning.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you on crack?" Anyway.
No, but like you know how like
I thought you were joking about this story.
No. So I'll tell you guys the story. So basically, you know how like it's the end of the year and you get like your everything does like they're wrapped up. You know, like Spotify wrapped up.
Like your top songs of 2022.
All of this stuff, and some websites have done it as well. So one very popular website, actually the largest I think porn website.
Pornhub.
Oh, Pornhub.
Yes.
Everyone, you know, people are lying if they say they haven't visited this site.
Excuse me, I don't know what you're talking about.
I've seen your search history, okay, Rose?
No, that's not true. I'm always on incognito.
I think some of the search terms come up in this.
So this article is Pornhub reveals. Why is this a story?
I don't know.
The most popular 2022 searches.
Yeah.
It says Texas. You should be ashamed.
So I think they break it down by state.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. So
wait. Should we guess? Oh, you've already seen it.
I've already seen it, so there's no point in me guessing.
No, I've seen an article, so I already know. I already know a couple. Can I say it?
Yeah.
One was like Japanese.
Okay.
And one was hentai, I think.
So I remember hentai is really high on there.
Because hentai is like anime porn.
Yeah. So it says Pornhub is pulling back the covers on America's X-rated viewing habits. But it's not just America. Obviously in Canada we use Pornhub too.
Of course. But I wonder, but this must be in America specifically.
Yeah, I think it's
but it probably wouldn't be too different here.
No. So the company released the dirty data on Tuesday, revealing that I guess lesbian is the most searched term across the frisky 50 states. So apparently that's like the number one searched term. Closely the lesbian. And then
lesbian is the number one.
Number one with hentai, a type of Japanese anime, following very close behind.
Wow, that's the second one.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
So
okay.
Very interesting. Apparently, according to Pornhub, and I wonder why this is, the kinky category saw a 75% increase in viewers. So like
what's the kinky? Oh,
like
the
more
category
kinky.
Kinky.
Yeah, kinky.
Oh, so like with like kinks, like I don't know, like foot
fetishes,
and stuff
all
like
kinds
that?
of stuff like this. Yeah.
75% increase.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's kind of like
Does that mean we're getting like bored of just normal porn?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
It could be that.
This is disturbing.
We could be like.
What's ebony? Is that like darker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently they're very into like everyone's like into specific ethnicities. So we got ebony, that's number 3.
Yeah.
Really? That's number 3? Wow. Look at Joe. Good for you guys. Okay. Mm-hmm. Latina, number 4.
Okay.
Asian, number 5.
Tied with threesome.
Oh, it's tied with threesome. Interesting. And then the next one is a bit disturbing. Stepmom.
Oh my God.
That is step parent, stepchild, step whatever. It's like a big thing in porn.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Oh God. Yeah, I know.
I think it's because it's just so like
taboo.
it's so taboo, and it's something that like normally in real life, I'm assuming is not something that's like a big thing.
Yeah.
So
Well, because it's like, for example, if like your parents like married married like a really hot, like if like a really hot wife.
Oh God.
And you're like the teenage son, and you're probably just like,
stop.
Oh God, like
I don't even want to think about that. That's weird.
I know. So if you ever marry a guy that has kids, Rose, maybe you're gonna become their little stepmom fetish.
Ew! No, but the thing is, I don't actually think, because I was listening to a podcast, and then remember that podcast I used to listen to, the Dan Savage one.
Yeah, love. And I think what's it called? Savage Love or something? Lovecast or
yes, Savage Lovecast.
Yeah,
there you go. So I was listening to that. This was like a while ago, and then this is how I know that this stepmom thing is like a huge thing. Yeah. Not just stepmom, but like step whatever.
Yeah.
And I think they were discussing like why that was, and then they actually said that in real life. I mean, I don't know if they actually did a study on this, but they said that in real life, it's not really like a big thing where people actually like fantasize about their step parents or anything.
Okay,
but it's more so just like in porn. It's just like, it's just one of those things. It's like, for example, just because you watch like, I don't know, porn about like your teacher, like a teacher student porn doesn't necessarily mean you're like fantasizing about your like teacher. But because it's just like a taboo thing.
Yeah, I do think there's a lot of, the thing is, you know, obviously Pornhub saying there was a massive increase in viewership and everything else. I think that there's like
you mean kink, and
kink and things like that. But honestly, already like porn is such a toxic place. And like
you anti-porn?
I'm not necessarily anti-porn, but a lot of it is showing these unrealistic expectations of what sex should be, and people get tainted by this, right? Like they see this like crazy aggressive and all this kind of stuff, and then they expect that that's going to be their reality, and you have these people that become actually porn addicts. Yeah, where they like can't have like normal. There was a movie actually about it.
Really?
God, what was it called?
You mean
what was it called?
It was like, fictional. It wasn't like a documentary.
It wasn't a documentary. No, it was with Scarlett Johansson. And,
I don't know.
Jason Gordon-Levitt or something.
Okay, I do know.
Yeah, and it was called
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, him, Joseph Gordon, and it was called like
I think I watched it too.
Oh fuck, what was it called?
I don't know. It's very old.
Yeah, it's an older film, but anyway, he had an addiction to porn.
Like, is he cute? Do you like him?
I think he's hot.
I think he's quite like he's kind of like cute.
I would say yes.
Yeah, totally. Anyway.
He's my king.
Okay, wait, we got to see the rest of the list. I just want to like.
Oh, you want to see the rest?
Okay, so after stepmom was big and blank. You can guess the blank. And then it's
fill
BBC.
In the blank. The British broadcasting community.
And then it's cream pie. And then it's Japanese. I don't know why I thought Japanese was like.
Who doesn't love a cream pie?
Oh, goddamn. And then it's Japanese, and then it's anal, and then it's black, and then it's another big blank word. So I assume they both mean the same thing, but just in
different. It could be. You know, there's a lot of things that could be big.
Out of all the stories, this is what you wanted to talk about.
Well, I think it's just kind of because we always talk about these like really dark.
Should we talk about the darkness of the porn industry?
We could.
I'm just kidding.
The last like episode that we did, there was a lot of like sad stories.
This is true.
And, so I thought this would be more kind of something fun.
Yeah.
And then they talked about. Trending searches. So I don't know how this is different than what the search terms are, but like I guess these are ones that were like more trending, but they weren't necessarily the top. Like
I see. Yeah, because these are very like specific.
Yeah. So they.
What the? Wait, this is very specific. So one was so it must be like one of those things where like randomly it trends.
Yeah.
So it's not an overall theme. So it says gamer girl.
So I guess a lot of guys are into gamer girls.
That's number one. That's 813%
increase from last year.
And then trans blank girl. I don't know what that means.
Why is it blacked out? Why does trans blank
I don't know.
Girl?
What do you think it means? What do you think it says there?
Transgender?
No. It must be a bad word for them to blank it out.
Yeah.
And then next is thick Latina. People like the thick Latinas.
That doesn't surprise me.
And then it's reverse cuckold. What does that mean?
I don't even know.
Do you know what that means?
I can't remember. There's like
I gotta find it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even going to guess. Hold on.
Oh God.
Should I Google this?
And then after that is solo male masturbation. So I guess
interesting.
People are liking to watch guys jerk off.
Yes, reverse cuckold.
I can't believe this. I hope you're on incognito.
I'm on incognito.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to. Oh wait, when the female sex partner watches the male sex partner have sex with another man, woman, or tranny. Oh, tranny. Are they allowed to say that? Guys, that was not me saying it.
That was on the thing. Interesting.
Okay, so because I think a cuckold is when the male watches his wife or partner
have sex with someone else.
Exactly. So they call like a insult for like a man is like you're a cuck.
Yeah.
And that's like basically saying you're like not really like you're
it's demasculating.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So I guess a reverse is when a female is watching their man.
Oh my days.
And then it's solo male masturbation.
Nice.
And then it says top categories. So this is also different from the top searches, but similar. So we got number 1, ebony. They love the they love that. You know what they say, Daniel? Once you go black,
you never go back.
there you go.
Yeah.
And then second is lesbian. Third is threesome. Fourth is transgender.
I think transgender is really trending these days. You know, I think more and more people are.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
And then number 5 is MILF.
Yep. Kind of in line with the stepmom searches, you know?
Exactly. Well, actually, the transgender thing is interesting because there was actually a separate story where some Christian, like, influencer, I think, or YouTuber or something, he was discussing, you know, porn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he started, I think he was talking about, like, how it's bad.
Yeah.
Just generally.
Yeah.
Like kind of different from the way that we're talking about it. Like we're not saying porn itself is bad.
Yeah.
But there are obviously like, you know, bad things about porn.
Exactly.
But he was like he's like Christian, so he's like anti-porn.
Okay.
Anyway, he started talking. I felt kind of bad for him actually, not gonna lie. Because he was like basically like, oh yeah, you know, and then I started watching like the trans porn, and then before you know it, I was like getting it in real life and all this shit. Like
this was
let me find it.
Yeah.
Christian. Okay. So basically he thinks that because he was watching trans porn, it caused him. So he doesn't think this is something I might just be into.
Yeah. He thinks
it's
he
like,
was influenced.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he thinks porn is bad because I watched trans porn is why I fucked trans people.
Which is so stupid because like I'm telling you like,
buddy, let me tell you something.
Exactly. Just because you watch it in a porn does not mean it's going to influence you to do it, because you could watch
Exactly. There's a lot of weird porn out there.
There is, and there's some porn that I've seen that I've been like, holy fuck, like that's super intense and like
exactly.
Whoa.
And even if you might enjoy it, first of all, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go out and
do it yourself
or even want to do it yourself. For example, the step parent porn.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm assuming people are not fucking their step parents as much as they're searching up stepmom porn. Let me tell you.
Let's hope that's the case. Because if it isn't, there's something wrong with America.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean,
like,
you know what? We're just a bunch of animals. Okay,
we
at the
are.
end of the day.
We are.
So anyways, that's just a little like side note. So like these straight men are watching these, you know, well, I guess they could still be straight if they're watching, depending on what kind of trans porn they're watching.
Exactly.
But like, yeah, this guy, he like, and I felt bad for him because it's like, the way he was talking about it, he was like obviously feeling a lot of shame. So in some ways I felt bad for him because I'm like, he's feeling very shameful about this.
Do you think like, and I don't know if this is necessarily true, guys, but like, do you think, because you know how there's like a lot of stigma, like if a guy ever, even if he's not into guys, let's say he one time experimented.
Yeah.
There's like stigma to that, like, oh, you're just gay or whatever.
There is.
But do you think that like, and I could be completely wrong here, but because people are becoming not more accepting necessarily, but like the like transgender is like kind of blowing up, it's almost like, especially for someone that maybe hasn't fully transitioned, still has some same like similar body parts, things like that. It's like a not a scapegoat, but it's a way that a guy can like experiment without as much kind of like
shame?
backlash. Yeah. As if I don't know. I could be wrong.
I think maybe one day, I think like maybe the generation before us, they're a lot more open-minded. I think our generation, like even I think still the idea of a man exploring that kind of thing is still like taboo.
Yeah.
Like for example, how people like, for example, if like a guy went to Thailand and like fucked a ladyboy, right? That's like a thing.
Yeah.
There's still like shame.
Yeah,
in
they
that.
wouldn't
like,
say it.
They wouldn't say it, and then they would be all like, oh, like, you know, they'd be like, oh, she tricked me, you know, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So there's never, so it hasn't come to that point yet. I mean, I'm sure hopefully one day we'll just like do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. If it bugs you, then don't do it. God damn, you be spilling.
Getting too excited over here. No.
But yeah, there's definitely like a man exploring his sexuality is not really a thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad, actually.
It is, because it's like we all, like, you know, all of us, you know, like to experiment or do whatever. And like, you know, we just want to see what life is all about.
God damn, Daniel.
So there's also on top related searches in the U.S., it shows the most searched terms in each state compared to others.
Oh my God, I realize I have another story I want to talk about.
So,
but anyway.
Rose, I'm thinking you should move to California. The top search term in California is Asian.
Asian? That's weird. Because there's a lot of Asians in California.
Maybe that's why.
But I would think like the opposite, because it's like, because there's so many Asians, it should demystify the whole Asian thing. But you know what? I guess they closer proximity, they want more of it, you know? They see the Asians roaming around. They're like, I kind of want to see what that looks like underneath.
That's true. And then what's that state?
And then, oh my God, what is, oh God, I used to know like U.S. geography.
Because I'm like, I don't really, I know where Texas is, but I don't know what that state is.
They should show what state it is. Because like, let's be honest, even people in the U.S. probably don't know how.
Well, exactly. Half of them I'm like.
Hold on.
So
USA states. Let me find it.
Yeah. Because I want to find out what the state is, guys, because apparently this state really enjoys showers.
Shower. Interesting. Okay. That would be.
You know what I mean by shower, though, right?
Oh, like golden shower?
Yeah.
That would be Arizona.
Oh, Arizona.
Arizona.
You kinky people.
And Nevada. They like cartoon.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, Nevada.
Who's next to Nevada?
It's Utah. Guess what it is? Mormon, guys.
Mormon is the top
surprising?
No.
I mean, you do know that's where Mormonism
is like prevalent.
That's where it like came from.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know?
No.
So like Salt Lake City, Utah is where it's like the birth of Mormonism. And then there's like a bunch of Mormons there. So I guess wherever they're from, if there's more, you know.
God dang.
And then this one's interesting. Oregon. You like the word furry. Okay, then. And then what's another big? Okay, so we got a lot of states that like the word black. Where we got Mississippi, we got Arkansas. We also have big black. Which one is big? South Carolina likes the word big black, or is that North Carolina? I can't really tell.
I can't tell either, but it looks like.
Oh no, that would be
big black blank.
Oh, that's North Carolina. North Carolina, you horn dogs.
Oh, god damn. This is really interesting, guys. I think you should look it up. It's on the New York Post. And like, you can.
There's a state that says Kansas likes the word. No, wait, is it Colorado? Wait, Utah.
Where are you looking?
Colorado likes the word goth.
They're into some gothic
Isn't that
stuff
interesting?
There. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And Alaska's into breast expansion.
What?
Whatever that means. I don't know. And Hawaii's into amateur wife. So
that's weird.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anywho.
So guys, that's interesting. That was the porn. Okay, so before we talk about this.
Yeah. Do you have something else to talk about porn?
No, but I don't know why I forgot to. I was gonna message you being like, I want to talk about this.
Okay, let's hear it.
Do you remember like there was like a moment where we talked about this? I can't remember what it was, but it was like a list of words that we're not allowed to say.
Yeah. So there are words such as like brainstorming, and because they have. Do you
remember where that was from?
It was an article that we read. It was just basically talking about how some of these words, they have representation that is like negative to like certain cultures, and a lot of it was towards like the original like
original meaning or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. So Stanford. You know Stanford?
Yeah, Stanford University.
Yeah.
God damn.
They released a Stanford Guide to Acceptable Words document. And I mean,
how woke?
Thankfully, it's actually being made fun of quite a bit.
Good.
So it's not like that we're insane. I feel like people are literally looking at this like this is too much.
Yeah.
This article says, "Behold the school's elimination of harmful language initiative."
Before you jump in, because I remember a few of the words, but I remember one of them was like grandfathered in. That was like a term. Brainstorming.
Wait till you see some of these words.
Okay.
Oh my God, I need to find the actual. Like it's actually the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It seems like a joke.
Where be the list?
I think I found it. Okay. And it's a 13-page document, guys.
Oh my God.
13 pages. Stanford. Do they not have things to do? Like, it's honestly shocking.
They're doing research over there, Rose, and this is what they're researching.
And on the first page, it like has like a description of what this is.
Yeah, the abstract.
And then it says in big, bold letters, content warning, this website contains language that is offensive or harmful. Please engage with this website at your own pace. Okay, guys.
It's a trigger warning, Rose.
What the fuck? I'm sorry to sound like a grandma, but like what the fuck is going on with our world? Like you cannot coddle people like this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even hear a word in an academic setting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you gonna fucking cry? Are you gonna fucking have a mental breakdown? Oh my god, I'm triggered.
But that's why they put the warning on there, Rose.
These are
you.
university level students.
Yeah. This is the generation that's coming up behind us.
No, but I would like to give them more credit. I don't think they're like this.
Yeah.
So let me.
Okay, so acceptable words, Rose. Lay it on me. No,
these are so they have it in different categories. So we have ableist category.
Okay.
And then we have ageism category, colonialism category, culturally appropriative category, our favorite.
Love it. Love it.
Gender-based category. And imprecise language category.
Okay.
Institutionalized racism category. Person first category. We'll get there.
Okay.
And then additional considerations.
Okay.
So apparently there's a lot of words. There's 13 pages worth of words that we cannot say. Okay. So let me start with ableist.
Okay.
So we got addict. And then they say, consider using person with a substance abuse disorder. Reason being, using person-first language helps to not define people by just one of their characteristics. Nobody thinks because you call someone an addict that is the only definition of that person. I'm sorry. Are people this stupid? Like, if I call someone like a mom, am I only defining this person by the fact that she has children?
Yeah. This is wild. Let's hear. I want to hear some more. Keep going.
Like, I still remember. So, like, you know, like when I was in university, my first semester of university, I did nursing.
Yeah.
So I took a class. It was like pharmaceutical, whatever. And I remember this was like, again, I'm old as fuck. This was like back in like 2007 or something, 2008. And I remember like one of the first things that the professor said was, we are no longer using the term diabetic because we would like to define them by people with diabetes, because being having diabetes doesn't define the person. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard, because we do this all the time with, it's just simplification of language. Like we do this all the time with literally everything. Like I say, oh, she's a smoker. Like, you know, like.
So now we're supposed to say, oh, she's a person who smokes.
We are a person with like, what the fuck?
Or instead of saying like an actor. She's
a person who acts. Yeah. Like, nobody thinks that just because you say like, smoker, actor, diabetic, you know, addict, that's the only thing that defines them. It's just, it's
like they're trying to change the language, but for the worse.
But it's like dumb.
That's not even a word, but you know.
It's like so stupid. Okay, anyways, that's one. And then and you also can't say addicted. It says you have to say hooked or devoted. I think those are different meanings, but anyway.
And like devoted. Yeah. I'm not going to say someone's devoted to heroin. Exactly. Like, I'm sorry.
It says it trivializes the experiences of people who deal with substance abuse issues. So maybe it means like, don't say it unless you are actually substance abuse.
Okay.
But still. And again, it doesn't. Okay. Anyway, you can't say basket case. You have to say nervous because originally referred to one who has lost all 4 limbs. I mean, this is such a literal.
I know.
Oh my God. Who's writing this? People. Yes. It says it was originally referred to someone who has lost all 4 limbs and therefore needed to be carried around in a basket. I didn't know that.
I also didn't know that.
That's quite interesting.
I mean, that's like a term from like the 1800s.
Exactly.
Okay?
Like nobody.
How many people are being carried around in baskets these days? I haven't seen one in my 34 years of life, guys. I haven't seen a single person that would be deemed a basket case by definition.
And literally nobody thinks, like nobody knew that was the original meaning. So it's not like we're like actually meaning like, you're like a person that has to be carried out in a basket. What?
Rose, you be a basket case.
Oh, Daniel, you can't say that. That's according to Stanford University.
Okay. Oh, God damn.
Okay. You can't say blind study. Guess what? Guess why?
Because it's offensive to blind people.
Yes. Oh. Because it unintentionally perpetuates that disability is somehow abnormal or negative. Okay, first of all, like, listen, nobody thinks, like, I don't want to say this being like, oh, this is like, I don't want to sound ableist, okay? But the reason why, it is not a good thing. Like, people don't want to be blind,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that we should treat blind people with disrespect.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we need to, like, of course we should have, a world that accommodates
but also
people.
also the definition of blind, like it is a word in the dictionary and it has a definition. So if you said it's a blind study, it's a study, it makes sense because it's like it's what the word is actually fucking used for.
Let's see what word they actually want us to use.
Like that's what I don't understand. I'm like,
no, but they think it's defines only people that can't see. They said, oh, you should call it a masked study.
So what about, I have a blind spot. Can I not say that anymore?
I think you have a masked spot, Daniel.
Like, and again, a masked study. No, like, what is that? Like, what, people might be like, are they wearing masks in the study? Is it like, are you blindfolded? Oh, can I say blindfolded?
And also, one word can have multiple meanings.
Exactly.
Like, it's just ridiculous. Nobody associates a blind study with blind people, and nobody is thinking, oh my God, blind people don't deserve it. Like it's so far fetched.
I know. It's
and like people don't want to be blind. I'm sorry, but it's true. So
blind spot, blindfolded.
Yes, disabilities are not fun things. Like I get it. Like again, we need to blindside. We need to respect these people, and we need to have a world that accommodates them. But that doesn't mean that it's not a negative thing to have a disability.
Yeah,
it's called a disability. Why don't we get rid of the word disability? That doesn't sound nice. Disability.
That's being
you don't have the fucking ability to do something. That's a fucking disability.
Rose, you're being ableist.
I can't.
Okay.
It's like, it insinuates that disabilities are a bad thing. What do you think it is then? It's a positive thing?
Yeah.
Okay, and then this one's crazy. It's absolute. I don't think I can say crazy.
Sorry. This one's shocking.
It says it's surprising and wild. Yep, crazy's on the list.
Of course it is. Rose.
This one is okay. Committed suicide. You can't say you have committed suicide. You have to say died by suicide. The reason is your face. The reason is ableist language that trivializes the experiences of people living with mental health conditions. How? How does that trivialize?
Well, Rose, let me tell you, okay? I was part of the Stanford study, by the way. So
stop it. How?
I don't know.
I actually don't understand this one because I'm like, how does committing suicide trivialize? Like, how does saying that trivialize what mental health, like people dealing with mental health
Do you think
issues?
it's insinuating that because a lot of people that commit suicide struggle with mental health? And so that's why. But I still, again, I don't.
But like died by suicide, what's the difference?
Exactly.
Because you did it yourself?
Yeah.
But that's the definition of suicide.
Exactly.
It's literally the definition of suicide.
I know. Like, because if you think about it,
like dying by suicide
died
is
by
literally
suicide is the same thing as saying committed suicide.
Yes. You got to do it yourself for it to be called suicide.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
God damn.
Who is... I want to get into these people's brains, but also no.
No.
But like, I want to know like what is going on.
Give us one more, Rose.
That's just the ableist category.
God damn.
Okay, I'll move on to the...
Which categories next?
Other categories. So under ageism.
Yeah.
Surprising there isn't a lot.
Yeah.
But one of them is senile. We can't say senile. It says person suffering from senility.
Rose is really, really having a good time with these guys.
Okay.
Give us another one.
Okay, so another one under... This one's weird. Like some of these words, I'm like, nobody even says this.
Yeah, like basket case, I had no idea.
No, people say basket case.
No, but I didn't know the definition. Was somebody
yes,
that lost all their limbs and is carried around in a fucking basket. Okay, that I didn't know.
But some of these words, like people actually don't say this.
Yeah.
For example, like, I mean, I don't know. It says Philippine Islands. This is so random. Oh, this is part of colonialism. So you can't say Philippine Islands. You have to say the Philippines or the Republic of the Philippines. Everyone says Philippines. Don't they? Like, I never heard anyone say Philippine Islands.
I've never said Philippine Islands in my life. I would always say Philippines or the Philippines.
And it says, the term is politically incorrect and denotes colonialism. Some people of the Filipino heritage might use the term, though. What? So if you're Filipino, you can use the term Philippine Islands. But if you're not Filipino, then it's colonialism.
Yeah. Oh, Rose, I love these.
Aren't these great? I kind of love it. I wanted to make fun of it.
You need to send me that article. I want to see all of them.
Oh my God. Like, honestly, I could just, yes, I will send you this article. We could like break this down.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, this one's a little
quirky.
The word is brave. And
you can't use brave.
And because like they have a column for like consider using instead.
Yeah.
And under consider using, it says none, do not use. We don't even have another word.
So you can't say brave anymore.
And it says the reason.
Could you not say courageous?
I don't know why you can't say courageous.
Because like, I mean, I'm sorry guys. You guys are Stanford University researchers.
You don't have a synonym for brave?
Yeah.
And then the reason is because this term perpetuates the stereotype of the noble, courageous savage, equating the indigenous male as being less than a man. What?
I don't understand it at all.
I don't get it. Ah! I'm going crazy. This wig is driving me insane.
Are you just going to take it off eventually?
No, I can't take it off right now. I'll
Okay.
keep it on for the whole show.
Okay. For the exclusive, you can take it off.
I'm being courageous.
You are being... Yeah, I thought you were going to say the other word, which we're not allowed to say, Rose.
Oh my God. It's so bad. Okay. And then there's all these terms you can't say because of cultural appropriation. We can't say spirit animal. I think that was part of the original one too.
It was, but it wasn't categorized like this. It was just like general terms. Spirit animal was on there. Brainstorming, grandfathered in.
The gender-based ones are...
Oh.
So apparently, you can't say preferred pronouns. You have to say pronouns. The reason is because the word preferred suggests that non-binary gender identity is a choice and a preference. Sometimes it is a preference.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people just, want to be, whatever. I've heard people like today they're like a girl and then tomorrow they want to be like a man.
It's like that term that I sent you, Rose, because I was going through Tinder and remember it's called androsexual, I think it was.
Oh, really?
And it's somebody's sexuality that is
always
changing. Sometimes they like men, sometimes they like women, sometimes they don't like anyone.
Sexual. Right.
Yeah, it's like I'm learning.
It's ever changing.
I think I'm going to put in my profile now a lot of different terms. Just for fun.
Yes, but you have to say your pronouns, not preferred pronouns,
okay.
Daniel. And then we have you can't say ballsy because instead of that you have to say bold and a risk taker because it attributes personality traits to anatomy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, people.
Rose,
these people are really fun at parties. They must be really fun at parties.
Yeah. Oh, you can't say that. Oh, no, sorry. You can't say that either. Oh, no, also you can't say that. Consider using no alternative. Just don't say the word.
So you can't say basically any like gendered, like firemen. You can't say that.
Yeah.
You have to say firefighters.
Yeah.
You have to say chair. You can't say chairman, chairwoman. You have to say chairperson. Who is going to say chairperson? Anyway, instead of saying gentleman, you have to say everyone.
Okay. Interesting.
Instead of saying guys, you have to say folks, people, and everyone.
Oh, I'm the worst for that. I always say, hey, guys.
I know. I say it to girls, too.
I do. I say it to everyone.
It's one of those things where it's like, sure, maybe originally it's meant for like men. Yeah. But people use it... to call just anyone, but I guess they have a problem with that.
Oh, God damn.
And this one's crazy.
You mean, sorry, Rose, you can't say that. Okay. It's shocking. It's,
you can't say he. You have to say the person's name or they.
What?
I know. It says, unless you know,
unless you know their pronouns.
Unless you know the person you're addressing uses he as their pronoun, it is better to use they or to ask the person which pronouns they use. Guys, are these people living on the internet?
Yep.
I'm sorry, but no. Like, I get it. If you have, certain pronouns you want me to call you by, that's fine. Yeah. I will do that. Yeah. But it is childish to pretend that most people walking around are not presenting as their pronouns. Like, come on. Why are we pretending like this?
Exactly. Because ultimately, like when you think of pronouns, like they do say like, I think it's like 90, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's like huge percent is their pronouns that they present as.
Exactly.
So like it's a minority that's presenting as
which I understand. Minority rights matter. Of course.
Yeah.
But we're not saying like, oh, we're going to ignore their pronouns. I'm just saying like, why do you pretend? It's like, it's a childish game. It's like if I walked up to you and I was like, what are your pronouns? It seems just like, is this a joke?
It seems so like
childish.
But it's like even at like the office now, everyone has like in their email signatures. pronouns.
Yeah.
Or like on their LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, like most of them are, it's like if I put my
Yes.
pronouns, he, him, or whatever, like everybody's like that. Like one of our like marketing people,
Yeah.
she's, presents as a woman.
Yeah.
And her pronouns are she, her, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I'm just like, well, that's not shocking. I feel like with the pronoun presentation, I feel like if you don't, but I guess it's like non-inclusive or whatever, but like majority of people follow the
Yeah. But it's like now, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, I guess it's fine if you want to put it on your email, whatever.
Yeah.
But it seems very politically correct behavior.
Yeah.
As in like, but you're going to pretend that like, we don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's,
God damn.
and especially, again, in an office, I kind of get it. Maybe you don't know everybody. So like, sure, put your pronouns and you're making everyone else feel like not weird about putting their pronouns, whatever. Okay, do it. But like in real life, for you to like literally just always assume and call somebody they, no matter what, come on.
God damn. Roses.
It's a joke. Are we going to get fucking hated for this? Because
Probably.
Well, I live in the reality.
But also,
let me tell you one thing. Never in my entire existence have I like mistakenly called someone the wrong pronoun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, Rose. I can't say that I've done the same.
Maybe I have. Maybe once or twice.
Yeah, I've accidentally.
Yes, but then you correct yourself.
Exactly.
And then you move on.
Exactly. You learn, you move on.
Yes. But the only reason why we do, let me rephrase that. Never in my entire existence where somebody's pronouns were very obvious, where I misgendered them.
Yeah.
Usually it's like somebody, like someone, let's say is like somebody like born a girl, but dresses as a boy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. Like, not really transgender, but maybe transgender.
Cross-dressing?
Not cross-dressing.
I don't know if that's allowed either.
I guess that would be transgender if your pronouns are, I don't fucking know. Anyway.
This is what I mean. It's getting so confusing
It's
now.
very confusing.
Like, and now there's all these other terms like cisgender
Right.
and all this other stuff. And I'm just
So,
I can't keep up.
Yeah. So, like, my point is, like, when somebody, like, if somebody, like, appears, like, okay, you're a man, then I'm like, okay, you're a he. I've never misgendered them.
Yeah.
But it's only when it's, like, someone that's, like, it's ambiguous.
Yeah. Then
that's when I'm, like, I accidentally either, like, I either ask, and sometimes I sometimes still fuck up because they present as they look like they're, a woman, but then they're dressing, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's confusing.
It is confusing.
But at the same time, it's like, if that's your pronoun, if you look a little different, then just say it. Oh my God. Like, are we really fucking living in this world?
Yes, Rose, we are. This is our new reality.
In the words of the Kardashians, there's people dying.
I know. There are people dying for sure.
Yeah. And then, you can't say she because obviously, you
don't
can't
know
assume,
their pronoun. Yeah.
And then it says you can't say abort. You have to say cancel and end. And, obviously it's because of abortion. Because apparently every word has to only mean one thing.
Yeah.
And then you can't say, I mean, there's all these things. Okay.
Yeah. It's just too many.
Guys, it's absolute insanity. You can't say stupid. And their terms instead of stupid are boring and uncool. I'm sorry. Do we need an English lesson?
I know.
I'm sorry.
You know what the scary thing is, Rose? These are Stanford.
I have
graduates.
to take this off.
I know.
It's
Like
hot.
it's coming. It's like
it's like coming off. It keeps sliding. I don't know why.
Should I put
Guys,
it on? No.
yes.
No.
I've gotten rid of the wig. Anyway, these are Stanford people.
I know. That's what's crazy to me. It's like you don't have a
insane.
synonym or something else you can say instead of brave. Just don't use it.
I think they just don't like the insinuation
Yeah.
of the word. I don't think they like the word.
Oh God. Anyway. Oh.
Anyway, guys, I'm sure we triggered some people.
We
out
did.
there.
We definitely did. I'm sorry if we triggered you guys.
And I'm sorry that
and
I don't ask your pronouns before I speak to you.
I think just to kind of like put a little bit of context as well, though, guys, I think like we're not necessarily like saying like obviously there's certain words and things that you do need to be careful saying.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that, make sense, like racial slurs, all of this kind of stuff that makes sense. Right. But when you start taking everyday terms, and some people could argue, well, it's not an everyday term, it's X, Y, Z, but it's like terms that, maybe in the 1940s meant something else, but the definition has shifted and nobody uses that for that particular reason anymore. Like I go back to that grandfathered in because I'm like, it is the stupidest thing because like back in the day, it was like, I can't remember.
What was it used for again?
I can't remember.
We literally don't even know.
I can't remember exactly, but it was like a kind of slightly negative connotation to it.
Sure.
But like over the time has gone through, and now the definition of that, like in today's society and what we use it for, is just meaning like you're bringing a legacy plan and you're maintaining it, right? Like there's no like thought behind it to say, oh, it's racist, it's this. And that's where I'm like, the definition of these words does shift and change, and like, but you can't like cling on to like the previous definition from like
seriously.
years ago.
Language is something we've made up.
Yeah.
So things can change in what they mean. And what is the real world consequence of us saying grandfathered in when literally no one on earth even knows the negative connotation of grandfathered in?
But this is it. It's like there's so many of these terms. Like another one was brainstorming, not obviously on this list, but like,
well, you know what else people don't like? The name of our podcast.
I know a lot of people, but like again,
not a lot of people to be fair.
Yeah, a few people.
Just a few people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, again, I understand that back in the day, okay, it was used, the word savage was used toward indigenous people to mean something very negative.
Yeah.
I understand that. But again, context matters. The word savage is not only used for that. Even back in the day, it wasn't just used.
Exactly.
I just swallowed my Halls candy.
Oh my God.
I got too like
into
worked
it.
up.
But it,
so, well, it's one of those things where it's like, yes, it was used for that, but also it was used for other things. It's like if I called somebody, if I said like the word fat, that doesn't mean anything unless I put a context on it. Like if I'm like, oh, she's fat, or like I'm fat, like I can use the word savage as a slur, or you can just use the word savage as not a slur, which especially nowadays, we don't use it as a slur anymore.
Exactly. Because generally, like you could hear something and someone saying, oh, that was a savage critique, or
and like usually it's kind of like a positive thing right now. And also obviously
look at the what was that girl's, what is that lady's song? Is it Beyonce?
I'm a savage, classy,
bougie, ratchet. Yeah. And people
Megan
are
Thee Stallion.
Exactly. And I'm like, they're using that word, that same word, they're repurposing it as a kind of like a positive, like I'm this like hot
and also
bitch,
it has
and
nothing to do with like indigenous people. Like why do we need to like only think that it means that one thing?
I think it's because like again back in the day that's what it was like not just exclusively for that, but they were referred to as savages,
back in the
right?
day. And also I would get it if like I don't know, we were talking about, for example, like if we had a podcast talking about indigenous issues and we called it the Savage Podcast, then yes, that would be bad. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like in that context.
Exactly.
But it's not in that context. So to me, it just doesn't make any sense, the outrage.
Yeah.
And people just being so fucking sensitive.
I know. And on that note, I'm just kidding.
No, we got more stories.
We got more stories for you guys. So this story, really interesting.
Very interesting. So New Zealand passes legislation banning cigarettes for future generations. Banning.
Yeah. So listen to this. Legislation. So this happened a couple weeks ago, guys. It was like earlier in December. So I guess legislation was passed on Parliament on Tuesday, which means that anyone born after 2008 in New Zealand will never be able to buy cigarettes or tobacco products. Now, I think they mean by legitimate means, obviously, because like,
of course,
yeah, because obviously there's always black market for everything.
Black or gray market, yeah,
yeah,
or what are they called? Gray market, yeah.
Well, they don't call it a black market anymore. No, that's a negative, right?
Are we joking or are we serious? No. I mean, honestly, that wouldn't be. It probably is in that document. We probably can't say black market.
No, we can't.
They definitely had a bunch of stuff. It was like you can't say whitelisting or like. I'm like, what the? Anyway, moving on.
That's so dumb because
know,
like that's a business term. So like if company whitelists a product, it means that like
I don't know if that was actually on it, but it was very like
yeah. Because I'm like,
let me see it. I bet you it's on it.
It probably is
because they had a bunch of stuff about black something. You can't say black something.
Yeah, I guess black market that does make a bit more sense, but on like I don't know.
Yeah, they have literally a huge blacklist. So they must have whitelist then.
Whitelisting.
They have whitelisting.
Of course they do. What is the suggested term to use instead?
Allow list. Okay.
But then that doesn't make any sense because the whole the like for example, guys, like for those of you in the know that work in business and stuff, like if your company fronts a product for another company, so let's say I'm a software company and Rose uses my software but puts her brand on it.
Yeah.
That's called whitelisting. So Rose would be whitelisting my product. Allow listing doesn't make any sense because we're not allowing something to be listed.
Yeah, but I don't know why you can't say white though. Like, why can't you say whitelist?
I don't know.
Because there's also colors. These people are aware, right? Like,
well, no. Colors don't exist in this.
And then
vocabulary.
It says for blacklist, you can't say blacklisted because, and then they say the suggestions are deny list and disallowed.
Disallowed list.
And then it says assigns negative connotations to the color black, racializing the term. Again, color black, the race black. Different things.
Yeah.
Okay. People say Asians are yellow. I don't associate the word yellow with me.
Yeah.
As a race.
Yeah.
But of course, when we're talking about race, you can say yellow, whatever, even though I'm not fucking yellow. And neither are, black people aren't like actually all black. Okay. It's just so dumb.
It's so dumb.
Continue.
It's so dumb. Anyway,
okay, so they're banning cigarettes.
So they're banning. So it will mean the number of people able to buy tobacco will shrink every single year.
Does this include e-cigarettes?
I don't know.
Because isn't there tobacco in e-cigarettes?
Well, it sounds like total tobacco ban. So
they can't buy e-cigarettes? It has to have something about it.
See.
Or like, does it have maybe just nicotine?
Because e-cigarettes have nicotine.
They have nicotine, not
it means
tobacco.
nicotine will be reduced to non-addictive levels and communities will be free from the
What's the difference between nicotine and
of retailers who target and sell tobacco products in certain areas.
So nicotine is the addictive component of tobacco.
Yes, that's correct.
And tobacco, I assume, is not in e-cigarettes.
Yeah,
I assume it's nicotine.
It's nicotine, yeah. And that's like, for example, if you get the patch or whatever for people that are quitting,
sure,
it has nicotine in
nicotine.
Or you get nicotine gum.
So tobacco is what's banned. So people can still buy. Oh, it says the new legislation does not ban vape products, which have become far more popular among younger generations. Well, this is what's interesting because I don't know how much of an impact this is going to make because the younger generation are very addicted to e-cigarettes.
Yeah, so many of them.
And it's actually like, and very few, I think, young people actually smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's actually, I don't think it's seen as like cool. Like back in the day, like when we were young, that was like the cool
cool kid, the smoke pit.
The smoke pit or whatever. But now it's like everyone's on the e-cigarettes.
Yeah.
So I actually don't know how much of a difference this would make.
True. I do think it will have some impact. There's still some people that, do the rolling of tobacco or buy cigarettes and stuff.
Yeah. Interesting. It's an interesting approach.
It is. Going back to like the kids though that are vaping and stuff. There was recently a company that like kind of got in trouble a little bit.
I think I know which one. Like
Juul.
Juul. Yeah. They're like the big, they're a huge one.
And part of the reason they got in trouble is their branding and their marketing was really targeted towards like people under 18, which shouldn't have been really using their product anyway.
Yeah.
And also the actual device itself was super small and looked like a cool USB.
Yes.
So many kids were like buying it and everything. And there was like this documentary on it and the kids were.
Yeah, I saw that one.
You saw it, right? And they were talking about it and they were like, we wish we never started. Like they're super addicted. Because the thing is the addictive component that's in tobacco is in the vapes as well.
Yes.
So like for example, if I started vaping cigarettes, I would get addicted. And then you're in that same addictive cycle because there's nicotine is a product that you can become addicted to.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to get off of. You get withdrawal symptoms and stuff.
And I think it's actually potentially more dangerous because there's a few reasons. Number one, I mean, one good thing is that I don't think you can get like secondhand smoke from like e-cigarettes. Yeah. So at least other people aren't impacted. But the bad thing is, number one, you can actually smoke it inside and it doesn't like stink up.
Yeah, it doesn't make everything smell bad.
So, which is a good thing. But the bad thing is it's not a deterrent. Mm-hmm. So you can easily just smoke in your room. Like even if you're renting a place, you could just easily smoke and people are not going to know that you're smoking.
No one would
inside
know, yeah.
Because you're not like leaving that much smell. So you can smoke constantly. Mm-hmm. Okay? Like people that I know that vape are vaping constantly.
Oh yeah, it's like yes. more than they would actually smoke.
Exactly. Because smoking, it's like there's a lot of hurdles, right? You got to, again, because of, legislation now.
You got to go outside.
So you got to go outside. You got to be like a certain distance away from the doors. Like you can't smoke inside the bars. You have to go outside. Yeah. You have to there's all, and then you have to I don't know. There's like a lot of hurdles. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I think less people smoke now, but so many people vape and now it's just so easy to vape that people are constantly vaping. They can't put it down. And again, there's no end to it, right? Because when you're smoking a cigarette, there's like a filter. Yeah. So you have that one cigarette, you finish, and that's it.
You're done, yeah.
When you're vaping, I think you charge it, and then you have like a thing, and then it lasts like
It lasts
quite
a long
while.
time. Well, it's because it has that liquid in it, right? So
exactly. It's like a liquid.
You just refill it and stuff, but the liquid lasts a long time because like
Yes.
you
do the weed
vapes and they last forever. Like even if I just spent all night smoking one,
that's the thing.
it will not go out. Like it will last me for a long time.
Yeah, so you can just like literally, and then people I know that vape, they have like multiple vapes.
Yeah.
So they're just like constantly vaping, and it's just easy. So like if you just have it, you're just gonna vape.
Yeah.
So it's actually potentially more dangerous, and we don't know the long-term side effects of the vaping, right? Like we don't know, like yes, there's no tobacco, but if there's nicotine and potentially other things, we don't know.
Well, the interesting thing here, so I guess the Prime Minister of New Zealand, she was talking about this.
You mean the Prime Minister of New Zealand?
Of New Zealand. She was talking about this. And she was adding that I guess the smoking rate in within the Maori community.
Okay. Which is like the Aboriginals of New Zealand, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
And she said this could close the life expectancy between Maori and non-Maori citizens.
Because the smoking rate for Maori citizens is at almost 20%.
Yeah.
19.9%.
Down from last year. But by putting this legislation in, hopefully that will close the gap that I guess Maori citizens overall in New Zealand have a lower life expectancy than non-Maori.
Oh, interesting.
And so she's trying to obviously close that gap as
wow.
well. So
like imagine being in a country where they actually care about the Aboriginals.
I know.
Like in Canada, like this would never fucking happen.
Well, I think that they do have some problems in New Zealand, but I don't know too much about it.
Of course, I mean every country has problems,
Yeah.
but what I've heard is that New Zealand is very like they compared to other countries. They care a lot about like the Maori citizens, and they actually, compared to like Australia or Canada.
Well,
for
if
example,
you look at even when they're in sporting events, like
Exactly.
the New Zealand Blacks, like
there's a lot of respect.
Exactly, there's a lot of respect, and also they do like the special dance. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Like the waka.
I don't know. I don't know. What it's
I can't remember, but anyway,
Yeah.
it's like it's kind of like tied to their Maori roots.
Yes.
So they definitely embrace it a lot more than other countries,
And they make it like cooler, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas like here, it's not really like, yes, we see it. For example, like we see a little bit of, Aboriginal like music and, traditional stuff, but also like they don't make it seem cool. Like it's very, it's just like, oh, it's like the Aboriginal thing.
Exactly. Even there, I know that some of the New Zealand like slang and terms that everyone uses is like Maori terms.
Right. See, that's cool.
They'll be like, because how we have expressions like, I don't know, I can't think of one like, oh, I'm going to jump into my clothes or something.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm going to throw something on. It would be like an expression like that, but it would actually be in Maori. Like not saying that the people everyone speaks the language, but they'll
use certain
have
words.
Exactly.
Right.
And it has a certain meaning to it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
Okay. So I guess that's what they're trying to do. Interesting. I don't know. It's good.
Probably
experiment.
not. Probably the tobacco companies aren't happy about that in New Zealand.
No,
because they're probably like, shit, we're gonna lose all of our customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
because wait, what age do you have to be? Like 18?
Yeah, 18. But now they're saying anyone born after 2008,
right,
will never be able to buy tobacco.
Oh, right. So basically, it's like you could be older and then just never.
Exactly. So everyone born before, so we could still buy tobacco.
Right.
In
So
New
it's
Zealand.
So like basically, it's a total ban.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So for example, so
eventually they're trying to get rid of it all.
Exactly. And it says here, so for example, by 2050, for example, 40-year-olds will be too young to buy cigarettes because they're never going to be allowed.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder what so they say the average for Maori people is almost 20%. Oh, and it says that New Zealand's smoking rate is already at historic lows with just 8% of adults smoking daily. And that's down from 9.4% last year. Yeah, I think it's gone like very low. It just overall, like in Canada, I don't know what the number is, but I imagine it's very low.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because a lot of like a lot of countries have gone down. Some countries, like I don't think there's any countries necessarily that's gone, well, there's probably some that have gone up.
Maybe some.
Yeah. But I definitely notice it more. Like I don't notice in Canada like that much with smoking. As soon as I go somewhere else, though, like in Europe,
there's
I was
a lot
like,
more
holy
smoking.
shit, everyone smokes here. Like literally, so many people in Europe smoke.
But also they have the rolling tobacco.
Yeah,
and they have,
everyone rolls.
Yeah, whereas like in Canada, like nobody really rolls.
No, they buy the
and
regular.
It's very expensive here.
Yeah, true.
And like we just have like a lot of law. Again, I think it. For me, it's more like, do we need a total ban or do we just need to phase it out with all these like making it very difficult, right?
Yeah.
For example, you have to go outside, you have to go like this far because when we were 18, when we just freshly turned 18, it was still legal to smoke inside.
I know
the bars.
It's
how old we fucking
me.
are.
I know
it's insane.
Yeah, but it was only legal for like 6 months. Because it was like by the time I was
by
like
the time
19,
we turned 18, yes.
Yeah, by the time I was 19 though, it was
for me it was only 2 months, Daniel, because I was born in October.
That's true.
Anyway.
For me it was 6 months because I remember it was until the end of that year, and I think the new year.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then now it's like imagine like I can't even imagine like
I know.
that not being the case.
Well, I remember when we
but it was like a big uproar.
Yeah, it was. People were pissed. I remember going to clubs though, guys. Like when I freshly turned 18.
Oh, it was disgusting.
Oh my God, I'd wake up the next day and like I'd have my clothes on the floor and it would just like
the clothes.
They would fucking because everyone was just smoking. Like so many people smoking, right? And people smoke more when they drink.
It feels
obviously.
like such a long time ago.
I know, it's so weird. And then also though, people would be on the dance floor with their smokes. I got burned so many times.
Oh, and then your clothes get burned.
Yeah, my clothes were burned, and I was like, "This is a." Because drunk people with smokes dancing, like who thought that was a good idea?
Know.
You know, like.
But you know what's interesting? Now they don't even like. I wonder why they don't allow like e-cigarettes inside.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like I don't know if there is.
Is it because like I mean they're new-ish, but like the full study of e-cigarettes and the impact of secondhand vaping hasn't been really noticed.
I think that's part of it, but I think it's more so the fact that e-cigarettes were introduced after already we've banned cigarettes indoors. Yeah. So it's like, what's the point of like allowing people when it's a new thing? It's not like people are used to smoking the e-cigarettes indoors.
And think about some clubs, they have smoke machines. That's probably the same thing as like almost
exactly.
vaping.
I mean, clubs, think about the noise in your ears. That's bad for you. Yeah. So it's not like they care about our health. I think it's just the fact that it's a new thing. They've never had e-cigarette smoking allowing, know, So why start now?
Exactly.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know how I feel about this, but whatever.
It's a pretty strong.
It is very
stance.
strong.
To be like you after you're born after this year will never.
I know, but it's a small country, so they're probably just like whatever.
There's like 3.5 million, 4 million people there.
They're probably like, oh, I'll just go to Australia and just buy it there.
Just fly over the pond.
Exactly.
Got Australia.
Exactly. Why not?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wonder if there's an uproar. I wonder if people are pissed.
I don't know. Who knows at this point?
I feel like it's again because they've already got it so low.
Yeah.
That people just like are like whatever. I don't know.
And I think when it says just 8% of people are smoking, I could put money on it that it's probably the older generation.
Older generation.
Yeah.
And again, it's probably a lot more younger people are just vaping.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, any other still raise before we wrap it up?
God, we got time for one
more. Oh God.
Did you hear about these?
Oh, I've stopped following Kanye news.
I know.
It says Aiden Ross explains why Kanye West's Twitch stream has been canceled.
Yeah. So basically, do you know who Aiden Ross is, by the way?
Oh, I think I've heard of this story. Is he a really famous Twitcher?
Yeah, like
Twitch streamer?
he's a really famous Twitcher.
Twitcher.
You can't actually say that, Rose. That's not PC. He's a very famous. He's a very famous person who is on.
A very
Twitch.
famous person who streams.
Yes. Thank you. That's the correct. Stanford graduates would be happy with that, Rose. Okay.
We can't say he though. We can't assume.
Oh yeah, we can assume until until their pronouns have been explicitly said to us. So basically, Aiden was supposed to. I think it's an interesting thing with Kanye because obviously the last little while. I was out of the loop, but I'm in the loop now. And it's like he has
Did you go into a rabbit hole?
I didn't. No. But just from when we talked about it the other day, I was like, he's obviously really been gaining traction for all the wrong reasons. Basically saying all this horrible stuff, like denying the Holocaust and saying he loves Hitler and all this really intense.
It sounds like a joke.
It does. It's crazy. And I think there's some people that are on the camp of hey, if we got him on our podcast, we're going to get tons or our Twitch or whatever.
Absolutely.
We're going to get lots of views, which means lots of money for us. But on the flip side, people are like, we also don't want to give him a platform.
Sure.
So there's this whole back and forth. So Aiden Ross had said that he was going to actually have Kanye on his show. I guess he does have a lot of because he's such a huge Twitch streamer.
Yep.
He has a lot of celebrities on there sometimes.
Right.
Just random people and whatever. I don't really know because Twitch, you're
I don't really
typically
watch Twitch.
On your computer and just talking. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, sometimes they play games. I don't really understand it.
I know.
They just live stream and they talk about random things.
The stupidest shit though.
And they literally people watch this shit for hours,
I know.
Man.
People will do these streams for 8 hours.
I don't understand.
And people will be on there giving them money and shit.
Yeah.
It's actually
chatting.
crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. We can't say crazy.
I know.
Anyway.
or insane or whatever. So over the last few months, I guess Aiden Ross had linked up with a number of big stars from the entertainment industry on his streams. A bunch of rappers, musicians, all sorts of people. So anyway, he was supposed to take things to another level and have Kanye West on his stream for a chat. But this got postponed and was rescheduled for a later date. like, and as we mentioned, there's been a lot of like backlash and everything else. And finally, Aiden came forward and was like, I'm not going to have him on my stream anymore.
Because of the backlash?
And it's because of all this stuff. He's like, I don't want my place to be like a platform for hate.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I think also someone was saying that he's of Jewish descent or something. So
okay.
It was like kind of ironic, but it said here.
I'm curious about this though. Like, I'm torn on this topic because yes, on one hand, we don't want to give them a platform.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it would be nice for someone to challenge them. Yeah. Right? Because like if you are able to, you can argue.
Exactly.
And it's not hard to argue against someone that says he loves Hitler.
Exactly.
Like,
although you know what the thing is though, and I could put money on it. It's the same as like I would love to have Candace Owens on our show, just so that I can talk to her and just like, you know what I mean. But the thing is, these are people like you have to remember like, and they're not. I don't want to say not normal. That's not what I mean to say. What I mean to say is they're not people that you can rationalize with, right? Like,
well, it's not about them though. It's about the audience. Yeah,
no, true. But you're right. It does show like it shows the audience right, that are watching. They're like, oh my God, they're such idiots. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, for example, like let's say somebody for whatever reason didn't believe 1 + 1 = 2. Yeah. You could like draw it out for them, explain it to them, but they'll still argue till they're blue in the face that that's not true.
Sure.
And I feel like, Kanye would be the same. You know, it would be the same kind of situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn because, the thing is, everyone knows who Kanye West is. Yeah. Okay. So it's not like he's like a tiny little nobody that, you know, has these crazy views. Yeah. He's been spewing these views. A lot of people have heard these views.
For a long time, actually.
For a long time, but I think it's come out recently more so.
Like a lot more, yeah.
And I don't know. I'm torn because I think because so many people already heard them, you know, it would be nice to have some pushback a little bit more than just what he's been getting, which isn't that much. Yeah. So that could be nice. I think if somebody is very good at pushing back, it's okay to have someone insane like this on their stream. But again, who knows, right? Maybe it does more harm than good. Maybe some people listen to what he says and thinks it's fucking great.
Because, you know, the thing is, the sad thing is there's people out there that will.
That's true.
You know, no matter how extreme these views are and stuff, there's gonna be people out there that are like, "Yep, I believe in what he says. I'm a Kanye West.
Yeezy." What?
Well, apparently that's gonna get canceled.
And also he's changed his name to Ye.
Oh, sorry, Ye. Oh my God.
What's with these rappers constantly changing their fucking names?
Yeah.
Like P Diddy, Puff Daddy, Diddy.
As the streaming star has confirmed that Ye's highly anticipated performance has been canceled. Because he's not Kanye, he's just Ye.
Oh my God. Somebody needs to just send him somewhere.
No, but I think honestly, like I said this on the last podcast, guys, I think the hate speech that he's spewing is grounds for, like, you know, we talk about cancel culture and everything, but some people really don't get canceled. Right. It's not a real cancellation. It's like, I think this should be a real cancellation. Yes. Like, I think he should be done. Like, Spotify should drop him.
Yeah. I mean,
Adidas has already dropped him.
Is his music still on like the streaming platforms?
I think it probably is. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because he's got some big hits, right?
Can you separate the artist from the art?
Well, the problem with this is if his stuff is still streaming,
he's making money.
He's making money off of it. So, you know. They're still profiting. Oh God.
God damn. It's pretty fucking crazy.
It'd be crazy as hell.
So you think Aiden Ross did the right thing by canceling the stream?
I mean, I'm on the fence as well with you a little bit. I think partly, I don't know.
I think overall, you know what? I would say overall probably the right thing, just because what's the point?
Just get him off the air.
At the end of the day, what's the point, right? Him. At the end of the day, he's saying things that doesn't need to be heard.
Exactly. Don't give him the recognition that he's looking for. Literally just cancel him off everything. Don't have him on talk shows. Get his music off Spotify, iTunes, everything. Like, he's done. Like, just finished. No more. Like, let's
more Kanye West.
Hashtag cancel Kanye West, guys.
God damn.
I will go that far.
What's the fucking Gold Digger song? That's the only song I like.
Oh wait, hang. I ain't saying she a gold digger. But she ain't messing with no. Bro, this is the thing that sucks though, is I love some of his music.
Really? I think he's so overrated. I've always thought this man is so fucking overrated. People are like, oh my God, he's a genius. I'm like, he's not a fucking genius.
I don't think he's a genius by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. I just like I think some of his songs were catchy. That's it. Yes. Like Gold Digger, catchy song. Honestly, Stronger, Stronger.
Yeah, Stronger. Yeah, I forgot about
that
one.
But part of it wasn't even him singing. It was the Daft Punk. Work it, make it, move it.
That's
make
the thing.
It stronger, better, faster.
Anytime it was just his song, I just never really thought it was that great. I was like, yeah, it's good, but like people put him on such a pedestal.
I know, I never got that, and
I'm like, what the fuck it's like Drake when people like obsess over Drake.
I think it's because like honestly, I think with Kanye, the part of the reason why I was like, oh, some of his songs are catchy or whatever, but I never put him on that pedestal because even in the early days, he was such a cocky guy.
Oh, he was always a little fucking shit.
Oh, he was like, and you could just tell he was so arrogant, and because of that, like whenever I see him in interviews and stuff, I was like, I don't like this man. Yeah. Like even from day one, guys, I've never liked Kanye West as a person from what I've seen, at least, and now even more so.
And he also referred to himself as like a genius.
Yeah,
I'm like, when somebody refers to themselves as a genius, you know they ain't no genius.
Biggest turnoff. Imagine going on a date with a guy, Rose, and he's like, I'm a genius. I'll be like, hey, I'm leaving. You can pay for my drinks.
Well, and Kim Kardashian was like, put some babies in me.
I know.
Imagine having a conversation with Kanye West and then being like, I like that.
Yeah, I definitely want.
I want your babies.
Yeah. I want some little geniuses running around.
Oh God, I want some little yays running around.
Oh.
Ugh. Anyway, guys, that's basically it.
That's it for today.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is the final episode of 2022.
God damn.
We will see you in 2023.
Yes, we will.
Guys, just a quick reminder, make sure you check out our Patreon. It is patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. Starts as little as $3 a month, and you get bonus episodes every single month, which we're going to record the bonus one right after this.
Yes.
And you get ad-free content, and you get the episodes a week earlier than everyone else. So make sure you check it out.
Yep.
And make sure you follow us on Instagram and also on TikTok at The SaVeg Podcast.
Yes. And also check us out on whatever podcast platform you are listening to us. Don't forget to hit that follow button. Then you'll get updated as soon as there's new episodes available. And if you are watching this on YouTube, I don't know if you said this yet, Rose.
No, I haven't.
Give this video a thumbs up.
Woo!
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and show us some mad love in that comment section.
Yeah.
That comment section down below.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Have a happy new year.
Yes.
And we'll see you guys in 2023.
Bye, guys.
Bye.